this is like so creepy right now. But before we jump into anything, how's your day going? I know it's going good. You're not gonna tell me anything different. I already know that, right? If not, then hopefully the rest of your night be like top tier amazing. It's gonna be. But I just watched Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if this episode is about that, but I just watched Cabin in the Woods like 2 or 3 days ago, which is crazy. I love that movie. And I hear about that though. But let's check out Secret Creepy Cabin Discovered in North Carolina. Lost episode 1. Want to check out the video? Link will be in the description below. Well, let's go. My bad, I had to close my window. This story about Larry Davenport was originally paired with another story about a boy named Michael who went missing 8 days prior in the same location. Roan Mountain, North Carolina. Michael and his family asked us to remove the video, so that's why you are hearing Larry's story now as a weird standalone story. Yo, just reading that alone gave me creeps. Oh, MrBallen, that intro. My bad, I had to resync it, my bad.
On July 17th, 1983, 8 days after Michael is found, another person goes missing in the same section of Roan Mountain. And I've got to say, their story sounds an awful lot like Michael's. So on July 17th, 1983, Larry Davenport, who is a 20-year-old avid hiker, decides to head up to Roan Mountain with a couple of his friends to go on a hike. They really liked the western side of Roan Mountain. They were very eager to get up to the top where they could have a picnic before the sun went down. So they make it up to this section of the mountain where it's actually a campsite, and it's not that far from where Michael went missing. And there's picnic tables and there's little barbecues. You can put in charcoal briquettes and have your own little barbecue. They get up there and they set up their picnic on one of the picnic tables. And they're having a great time. They're joking, they're laughing. And at some point, Larry takes off his shirt and his shoes. And the weather was pretty good. It wasn't super hot out, but it was decent enough that no one thought it was odd that he was taking off his clothes and maybe kicking back and relaxing, enjoying the nice weather. Then at some point, out of nowhere, he stands up and he starts walking over to the tree line because they were in a bit of a clearing. And as he's walking over, one of his friends would later say that it seemed odd if he was going to, relieve himself in the tree line, that he wouldn't take his shoes.
So it's something
like the risk of stepping on something and puncturing your foot's pretty high. It was only in retrospect that this friend thought of that. At the time, his friends didn't think twice. He's getting up to relieve himself. He'll be back in a minute. After a few moments, when Larry did not come back, somebody turned around to see what he was doing. And they saw him walking in a straight line away from them, well into the forest.
He gonna go into that cabin,
forest. Huh? It's not somewhere you're going to go walking barefoot without a shirt on. And he is way into the woods at this point. The friends have this moment of shock. Even if he needed to relieve himself, he would have done it much closer to the edge.
For real, you ain't got to go way out there.
Thinking like, this isn't really happening. He's gonna turn around and come back. When he didn't, somebody yelled like, "Hey Larry, what are you doing?" Doesn't turn around, just keeps walking. So they get up and they start walking over. They're yelling to him, expecting him to turn around. And then at some point, he's far enough away that they can't even see him anymore. So they start running into the forest, yelling for him to stop and to come back. But as they got farther and farther in and they couldn't find him, they began to get worried that they were gonna get...
So is it something that, wait, so do people go into this I keep wanting to say cave, this cabin, because like something like legit, like send you into like a trance or whatever and take over your mind or something?
But as they got farther and farther in and they couldn't find him, they began to get worried that they were going to get lost. And so they decide, after about an hour of just yelling for him and kind of peering around to hopefully get a look at him, thinking he might just come back because there was no explanation for this, they eventually called the authorities. Authorities are able to very quickly launch a massive search in this area, very similar to the search that was launched
Why? Because is it common?
for Michael, except without military involvement. But it was just as many people, hundreds of people, scouring this area. He doesn't have shoes on, he doesn't have a shirt on. And so they're banking on the idea that even though he's walked off for some reason, he can't go very far. It's gonna take a minute, but they're gonna find him because he just...
Y'all see this car? MrBallen, what story is that? Look at the name of this shit. Wait, hold up. Did y'all just read that? This man, that ain't funny, dog. Chill out. But how? Stop playing with me, dog. They said a cat had 9 lives. Boy, damn. He told the cat, hold my drink. I bet off topic, go back. But bro, I was thinking about the same thing. Like, bro, you don't have any, you took off your shoes, you took off your shirt, all that to go piss. I know you ain't that shy. If you that small, we won't look. But it sounds like something legit is like taking over your, like these people's brain. Like, come over here.
Even though he's walked off for some reason, he can't go very far. It's going to take a minute, but they're going to find him because he can't escape the search party. But he does. And after 3 days of not finding this guy, despite this massive effort, people are baffled. But on the 3rd day, a very strange but lucky break in the case occurred. 8 miles away from where the search is happening for Larry, a group of hikers called into police that they had seen a man walking around them wearing only what they described as a bed sheet. He was probably not wearing a shirt. They didn't know if he had pants on or not, but they could see that, you know, his shin down had nothing on it and he had no shoes on and he had this bed sheet wrapped around him. And he wasn't coming towards them. He wasn't threatening them in any way. He just looked like there's something wrong with this guy. Somebody needs to collect this guy and see what's going on.
I thought it was Drake at first.
Bed sheet wrapped around him. And he wasn't coming towards them. He wasn't threatening them in any way. He just looked like there's something wrong with this guy. Somebody needs to collect this guy and see what's going on. And so the police go over, and sure enough, it's Larry.
It's him. I know
when police got to Larry, he was visibly shaken, confused. He didn't really even know why he was there. He didn't know why he had this bed sheet wrapped around him, which it would turn out to be a large curtain, not a bed sheet. He did have a few scratches on his body, but probably not as many as they anticipated him having, considering the distance he had covered. 8 miles through thick rhododendron thickets. He should have been covered head to toe in cuts, but he wasn't, but he had a few. So the first thing they did is they brought him to a hospital, and he was diagnosed with something called acute brain syndrome, which is a term that refers to a host of psychiatric conditions that are temporary and diffuse over time that are caused by head injury, drugs, or infection. Basically, he was totally...
Basically, like someone wanted you to forget or not remember none of this. Is this a true story for real?
Caused by head injury, drugs, or infection. Basically, he was totally mentally unstable, but it would get better over time. Once he stabilized a bit, investigators asked him, what happened? So Larry wasn't sure why he left his friends, but at some point after leaving his friends, he wound up at this abandoned cabin. And he describes the cabin and he says where it is. And he said he went in the cabin and he didn't have clothes on. So he pulled one of the curtains off one of the windows and he wrapped it around himself. And he was there for a bit before ultimately leaving the cabin. And then he was discovered. And so investigators, they had a bunch of issues.
But maybe because that's all he know. Stop playing with me.
Ultimately leaving the cabin, and then he was discovered. And so investigators, they had a bunch of issues.
I hope they reveal what it is.
Because number one, how do we account for you traveling 8 miles? Because what you've just described is not an 8-mile journey. You're talking about a very short journey.
With no clothes on.
In addition, where you described this cabin is an area that was heavily searched by the hundreds of people that did the search. And no one saw a cabin. And certainly if they had... they would have.
Cause wait. Didn't hold up. I'm gonna just Google it if I ask with my phone. Didn't on Cabin in the Woods, either you couldn't get to the cabin or people couldn't see it. I forgot. I just watched the damn movie. My phone too far. Never mind. Dang it. I don't know.
And no one saw a cabin. And certainly if they had, they would have searched the cabin. It is the most obvious place that someone lost in the woods would go. There's no cabins in that area. So where was he? And where did he get the curtain from? And so just like the Michael Reel case, where the boy is found and he's healthy, and so everyone looks past the weirdness of his discovery and his story because he's alive, that's what happened to Larry Davenport. Very strange story. Don't know what you're doing walking around with a curtain on you, and I don't think that cabin exists, but you're alive, so we're okay with it. No one really did much research into the weirdness around these two stories. But David Paulides in the Missing 411 team said it's pretty difficult to overlook the fact that in a very short period of time, two different people that didn't know each other, that were not interacting in any way, went missing in roughly the same area, Roan Mountain, North Carolina side, under the same circumstances. They suddenly got up and walked away inexplicably. There's no trace of them. Dogs can't pick up their scent. Then they show up and they're kind of confused about how they got there, but here they are. And then they describe the same cabin that they found themselves being drawn to and staying inside of for significant.
It's not even just because it's Mr. Ballen. I legit don't think this cap. The only part I'm a little iffy on when it's something that kind of put you into a trance, make you come to the cabin. That part I'm like, how is that working? But it is 8, like you say, walked 8 miles, no clothes on, bro. You're not about to do that. And they get to this cabin, but other people can't find it. I legit I'm one of them. I don't care. I be legit believing it's stuff underground, bro. I legit think things can happen where it's like they pull that cabin back underground. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I just feel like underground is creepy, bro. I legit feel like underground is creepy. Think about it, man, and they used to legit tell us in schools, in the middle was just basically moat. It's just fire. It's hell, whatever. Nigga, come to find out, we don't even know what's in them. Maybe by now we do. I don't know. But time I went to school, or maybe we always knew. We don't even know. Correct me if we do. We don't even know what's in the middle, bro. No, we don't. I'm talking about the dead ass middle. And then some people might be like, bro, ain't no middle because it's flat. This can go so many ways. What you believe. I'm not here to change your beliefs. Basically, what I'm saying is what they told us in that book, that was cap. You ain't pay attention to school anyway, so it didn't even matter, bro.
They
Stop.
show up and they're kind of confused about how they got there, but
Cheap
here they
ass.
are. And then they describe the same cabin that they found themselves being drawn to and staying inside of for significant amounts of time before being found again. That seems like too much of a coincidence to just write off. So I would like to hear what you think happened to these two people. Was the cabin?
People was gonna get an answer, bro.
So I would like to hear what
answer.
you think happened to these two people. Was the cabin a hallucination? And if so, how did they both evade such a massive search effort? Or was it real? And who was the person in the cabin with Michael? So that's going to do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's video, let us...
Damn, man. It's like even more creepier when you don't get an answer. That's why Unsolved Mysteries always been so creepy to me. Man. Nah, I'm not saying 100% that's what happened. What I said. I just feel like there is things underground. And I do feel like there's people who can get there and go there, and people don't like us, the normal mind, we just don't know about. You may not believe. That's cool. I don't care. You whatever you believe, that's cool. Not here to change that on you. But man, dog. It's so much stuff in this world that gets me. And the more I keep watching more Mr. Ballen videos, the more it keep really hitting me like, I don't just think I'm crazy. I don't. I'm not the only one who be thinking like this, because you be like, man, some of this stuff just don't be adding up. And like, how we don't know a lot of this stuff? Or is it just we're not telling everyone a lot of this stuff? But then again, also, it's like the saying go, that I understand, the less you know, the better. Sometime. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I just zoned out for like 5 minutes just thinking, dude. Like, it's just, this world is so crazy, man. And I was gonna jump to the conclusion, like, yeah, what if bro was just on that? But I'm like, but they both got the same story. I legit feel like they ended up there. I don't know how. The getting there part, I don't know if 100%. I don't know. I'm lost, blank right there. But when they are there, I feel like it's legit. Someone ran some tests on them, woo, 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 did something on their brain. Probably the location they thought the cabin was at, probably that's not where they thought it was at. Because after they get the messing with your brain, fix you back up, send you on your way, you probably think you went to that cabin. Low key, you probably went somewhere in the ground the whole time. Who knows? Stop playing with me. It's probably not even a cabin. That's to throw you off. So when they tell you that, that's what you're looking for. So you ain't thinking about looking underground because you're too busy looking for a big ass cabin that probably don't exist. Goofy. You gotta think past. Why would they give you that answer? If I was doing something and I did not want you to find me at all, if I'm that hidden, and I got the power, I'm doing something wrong. I'm screwing with your brain. I'm going deep as I know, but bro, I'm telling you, man, this talk get crazy. I love it. I'm gonna do something like, all right, boom. I'm gonna make it so he think he went dummy far into a river, but low key I had cuz in the trap house around the corner, bro. Hey, but look, stop playing with me, though. I'm about to go wrap up this video, yo. Damn, MrBallen, this is a journey. This is crazy. If you enjoyed today's video, hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's like I tell you all the time. I love y'all. I love me, but I'm out.